All right, haves and have not fans, hope everybody's doing well. Please take a moment to hit like, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel. And follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. So in this particular video, we're talking about who died in the Malone drive-by at Hannah's house at the end of the last episode. Now, let's just be upfront and honest. The only potential victims were Tanisha and the unnamed baby that allegedly belongs to Benny. So basically, Benny's unknown baby mama and baby who he's never met before. Well, he didn't even know about. So, in the trailer, we know Hannah's alive, but I went back and looked at a trailer that we got after the first episode of these last 8 episodes that aired on June 1st. And pretty much we got a scene where it's Benny and Candace. We do get the one scene in the trailer where we see Benny and Candace rushing over to Hannah's because, you know, Benny realized that, wait, that's Sandy. He must be over there instead of here. Then we see them get into the house and Hannah is, you know, obviously upset over the whole thing. And then from there, Candace is like, I'll handle it, because she leaves and then goes to the Malone bar. And then that's where she confronts Vinny, who's sitting there with Mitch, and then, you know, Candace gets taken away, but that's a whole nother video in itself. So basically, there's one scene from the trailer that I can't identify. Basically, it's a cop walking out of the house and Benny's looking at somebody with a concerned / angry look on his face. Now, I can't tell if this is Tanisha or Hannah because we only got like an extreme close-up on the hair, but I can't tell what the hairstyle is. If it's the, you know, the locks that, the braids that Tanisha has, or if it's kind of, you know, the curls and whatnot that Hannah does. So I can't tell who it is. Could this just be Benny making a concerned look on his face because of the fact that, you know, this is the woman who claims he's the baby's father, but he doesn't even remember her, or what? But I'm going to be honest here. It could either be Tanisha, because the fact that she just got shoehorned in at the very last, well, next to last episode. And it would suck if it's the baby, because of the fact that Hannah will definitely be having PTSD, because this is the second grandbaby. I say potential grandbaby because we honestly don't know if it's Benny's, but I think it's safe to say it is. The second grandbaby she's lost due to violence, basically the bad choices of her children. And no guy, I mean, I remember in Sunday school, and I'm not trying to compare this to Christ, but hear me out. I remember in Sunday school around Easter time, we would always learn about the resurrection story and whatnot. And I remember one of my Sunday school teachers said, when it came to whose fault was it that Jesus died, was it Pilate for not, you know, not saving Jesus instead of releasing Barabbas, you know, basically surrendering to the will of the people? Was it Judas for betraying Jesus? Was it Peter for denying Jesus? You know, just a whole domino effect of, well, basically a whole guess who. It felt like that game, Guess Who, like whose fault it was. But at the end of the day, everybody had a role to play. It wasn't necessarily somebody's, all one person's fault. Everybody had a different role to play, even though I don't think Peter denying Jesus technically made him one of the people responsible, because at that point it was a bit too late for that. Hannah went to Warlock asking him to forgive Candace and let this go. She unknowingly was followed. Warlock had Hannah followed back to that motel, and that's where Warlock knew where to find Candace to try to kill her, and Candace snuck out in the middle of the night. And by doing so, she left her mom, brother, and son there. And from there, Mitch showed up as well. And that's when Warlock came in and started shooting up the place. So I personally do not blame Hannah per se. I'll just say that in the long run, Candace was right that Quincy Jr. would have been better off in foster care, because this was at a time where Hannah had nothing. Quincy had destroyed her house. She barely had any money. I think at this point she had quit her job with the Criers again for like the 5th time. So she was only able to pay off that motel by like pawning her jewelry and whatnot. So she would have a few $100s to pay up at least a week's worth of, you know, nights in that motel. She had nothing. Yet she fought for custody of the baby, and you know, didn't even know he had lupus. So when he was in the hospital, remember, she didn't even have a car, so she was running from the bus stop to the hospital to get Quincy Jr. there. So even though, you know, she could provide the love and whatnot that Quincy wasn't able to get from Candace or Quita, she didn't have the financial means. So it kind of felt like a selfish action that led to Quincy Jr.'s death. But in any case, I think the baby could be alive, because this could be God's way of giving Hannah another chance of having a grandchild, due to the fact that she lost Quincy Jr. But you could also look at it as, well, she doesn't even know that Candace is pregnant, so she unknowingly has yet another grandbaby to take care of. So it would suck if that baby's dead, because that's way too much for Hannah to take. Tanisha could possibly die, because again, I'm not saying I want her to die, but you literally throw her in at the 11th hour before the show's about to end. What do you expect? And I don't really like the fact that they did that, due to the fact that it just seems completely out of left field. But in any case, I think when it comes to the shooting, either Tanisha died, either the baby died, or both of them died. But you know, that's a bit too cryptic. But you know, it's supposed to be the fatal final season, and with all those bullets fired into the house, somebody better die, because if not, that's just pathetic. But then again, remember when Veronica sent that entire group of, you know, thugs up into David's house, and somehow David and Jeffrey were able to, you know, make him flee while killing 2 of them? Yeah. Alright, guys. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Tanisha and the baby are dead? What do you think is going to happen post Malone shootout? We know that Candace is actually going to go over to the Malones to confront them about this, which in a way is kind of like, you know, stopping them from going after Benny, which leads to something worse happening. Kind of like, you know, how Hannah went to Warlock to stop him from going after Candace, and then that led to a lot of trouble. So yeah, let's talk about it more. And if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. And with that being said, I'll talk to you soon.